Welcome back to Rambles, where I ramble all things black representation, movies, TV shows, and books. And
are you listening? Damn.
Girl, brace yourself because I'm about to put you onto the amazing, incredible Queen Charlotte. Your girl actually had the occasion of interviewing India, Corey, and Golda. And this is my interview with India and Corey. That kind of like brings me to King George. I've just felt like your depiction of him was just like so warm, and like especially when he smiles, I was just like, oh my god, yes. And like, was it intentional to make him so warm? And like, he just feels like green flags compared to like the other like Bridgerton men, you know, who were more like a bit more toxic, I want to say.
Okay, yeah,
He's a softie, really.
He is a softie inside. Although I think there are a couple of red flags at the beginning. You know, it's all like happy. Hang on, it ain't gonna.
Maybe like an amber flag.
Yeah. Well, he's just he's a very lovely man. He's incredibly gentle. He's incredibly kind. He's very loving. He's got a huge heart. But you know, it's not easy for him to open his heart, and I think that's where some of the distance comes from in the series. But I don't think it was. I don't know. I tried to honor who I thought the script presented him as, and who I thought that the real guy was a little bit. But I don't think ever like warm was something that I aimed for. But I guess warm could be like a what's the word when it's the same word? I don't know. Warm is similar to... Yeah, there we go. Right. Yeah.
You know, what I got from him. Exactly, that's the spot.
It's just Corey. This is just Corey. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning. This is just Corey.
Hello.
This is what he does.
No. No.
I think as well, it's refreshing to see in the Bridgerton world a guy who is not afraid of his feelings. I think we see Anthony and we see the Duke kind of fight those temptations and the urges, and George is quite open when they do. Well, he's not, he's very closed off, but he is experiencing lots of different you know, with his afflictions. There's a lot going on, and I think that is quite something to see from an audience's perspective, and I think it's great as well that Shonda has made him this way, and it will create conversation and you know, shows that men are not one-sided. You know, they're not all like love da da da, and then you know they're multifaceted, and yeah, he is someone with a pure heart.
Yeah, for sure.
and just wants love.
That's also something so true. Like he's been so bereft of love in his life that's genuine and unconditional, that any sign of it, I think it's like, please, yeah. Even before the connection is really, really deep rooted. And then of course with George and Charlotte, it does become deep rooted, but I think there is a desperation for love there that is maybe the source of some of that open-armed.
I was just going to say, he's quite selfless as well. He understands that Charlotte is good for him, but he understands also that he's not good for Charlotte. You know, in episodes to come, we see that there's this kind of confliction within him where it's like, I know I really want to be with this person, but I don't think I'm right for them at this time. I need to better myself for them, which is so emotionally intelligent. If you just told Charlotte, you know, she would completely understand. Yeah. There's a lot of miscommunication in the show, and twists and turns that are, yeah.
Do you think they're soulmates?
Do you think they're soulmates?
I mean, I don't know if I believe that there's one person in the world. I feel like there are lots of aspects and traits about people that we are drawn to, and some people have more of a collection of that, and so we maybe go towards them more because they tick more of our boxes. But I think in this instance where it was an arranged marriage, and the fact that love came out of it is so uncommon and so rare, it probably is more like a soul connection. I think their souls definitely align. There is a soul
connection for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Whether or not they are the only people that those two would ever, because you know, in history, he was in love with another woman.
Lady Sarah Lennox.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow.
He's like, I don't know how I did that.
I think that maybe that's completely wrong.
I think you're right, because Lady Lennox, right?
There's a quote in the show that is, it's a direct quote from his journal. I've been
I thought you were about to get the script out.
abundantly aware since my first breath that I am born for the happiness or misery of a great nation, and consequently must often act contrary to my passions. Now that is like a brilliant thing, and when I read it in the script, I was like, oh my god, because I'd already done the research. I was like, oh. But that was actually written about Lady Sarah Lennox.
Oh.
Because he was told not to court her,
Right,
and
then.
he was so infatuated with her. But that's the history,
Yeah.
and not the show.
No.
In the show, George has never been in love before. I think that there is probably actually someone better for Charlotte. I do think that's maybe not dealing with so much. But it is true love.
In sickness and in health, though. You know?
So
We can definitely feel it. I want to say as well, like, do you think that Queen Charlotte is a soft black girl?
A
Soft black girl.
A soft black girl. I think there are definitely traits of that. I think she's also pretty flippin' tough as well, which is really exciting to see, because not only is Shonda introducing lots of different ethnicities to a genre that once before was not open for lots of different ethnicities, especially in roles of such power and such status. But that, again, she's multi-layered, she's multifaceted. She's not just, the tough black girl. She's vulnerable, she is considerate, she's emotional, she's kind. Lots of traits that were once used as a negative connotation towards women, especially black women, There's almost an expectancy for women to be strong and tough, because of the experiences that we have been through and the oppression that us as a race have endured over hundreds of years. But that doesn't mean to say that everyone needs to be like that. Why do we have to play to a certain type of person? We're all very different, all very unique. And I think the show does a brilliant job of exploring that. And not just Charlotte, actually. Danbury, although she's, very confident and bold and knows who she is, you still see moments of vulnerability and moments of being, soft and unsure. And I think that's great, because I think people will watch that and relate to that.
What is your favourite movie with black main representation in it?
My gosh, there's so many. Nope, I rewatched it the other day.
Nope,
it's like
amazing.
one of my favourites now.
Anything by
So
Jordan
good.
Peele.
Yeah, Jordan Peele films.
100%. What about you?
it's a tie between If Beale Street Could Talk and probably Black Panther, the first one,
Yeah.
which I just thought is maybe the best
Yeah.
Marvel film.
If you like this interview, it is any other actors, actresses that you would love for me to have a conversation with, just comment down below. Remember to use the hashtag ZaiPutMeOn if you're going to watch Queen Charlotte after this video, because I just did.